Greetings, fellow citizens of Disneyland. Today's adventure, Brickey here. Some good news to end a week of bad news. We're getting back inside of Disney's California adventure. Friends, if you watched yesterday's video, first off, let me thank you. And let me say, in less than 24 hours of my prediction yesterday, that we would somehow see this week's bad news of strict reopening guidelines force Disney to get creative with reopening the gates of the parks. It's already been announced. It's happening this November. Today is Friday, October 23rd, and Disneyland announced that Buena Vista Street in DCA will be opening at some point in November. No specific date given just yet, as the footprint of downtown Disney expands. What does that mean? It means that Buena Vista Street will now be a part of downtown Disney. You do not need a pass or a ticket to get into the street to access this new shopping and dining area available to all guests that are able to get into downtown Disney. As you know, Tuesday of this week, Disneyland was given very, very bad news that they didn't want to hear about strict reopening guidelines presented by the state of California. Quite frankly, most theme park officials say that they were unachievable reopening goals, which now has all of California's major theme parks in peril, knowing that they're quite honestly going to be closed for the rest of 2020 and somewhat deep into 2021 if everything stays the way that was presented to them on Tuesday. To get a very, very in-depth breakdown of that news that dropped on Tuesday, go ahead and watch the video on the monitor. But now that Disneyland knows they're stuck in limbo for the foreseeable future, as I predicted, it's time for them to get aggressive with their business. It's now time to commit to this closure because they can't commit to reopening with the current guidelines. And reopening the gates of DCA will create many benefits for the park and fans alike. First off, obvious, it will create more cash flow, and Disney has already lost a projected $2.2 billion, now being closed 225 days. More shops, more places to eat. It's going to mean some more money. But even better than that, it also is going to mean that Disney will be able to bring more cast members back to work. They will be able to call some folks to have them come back to work in these eateries, to work in these carts. And so a good news that a select amount of cast members will be getting the phone call. We're ready to take you off the bench. We're putting you back in the game. And now for us, the fans, not only do we get to experience these things and step foot inside of a Disney park in California, but this also means that downtown Disney will have a larger capacity. Adding in this thoroughfare, all of these shops, these places to eat, that adds more capacity that Disneyland can add to downtown Disney, which means something that has been maxing out on guests every morning as soon as it opens will now have more wiggle room to get more fans in there, and a good thing for everybody to keep it safe. Right now, Disney has done an impeccable job of keeping downtown Disney feeling safe. Even though this will allow more people to enter downtown Disney, it will also allow them to let more people enter, but at a safe capacity. And as you know, once the park sells out each morning or maxes out on allowed guests in, for the duration of the rest of the operational day, it is literally one family leaves, one family is allowed in. One car leaves the parking lot, another car is allowed in. More room, more people means more of us can get to enjoy the magic at the same time, but yet still socially distant and safe according to guidelines presented by California. So why did it take this long? We've seen other local Southern California theme parks already reopen, do food festivals. Why would Disneyland wait this long? Well, Disney, like many of their guests, thought that any day now they were going to be presented with an opening date. And now that they officially know that they're stuck on pause for the foreseeable future, it means that this is reality. It's not leaving anytime quickly. So it's time to get as creative and as aggressive as possible in this current state of peril. And the reason why they didn't jump into anything before, and this is my own theory, but I think it checks out and makes sense. Disney is a brand that is based on quality. It is not their brand objective to give you, the guest, a half offering of Disney magic. Therefore, opening a Disney park and having no attractions in it, it's just not the way that they run their brand, and more power to them for having that pride in what they've been able to create. Disney by no means invented the theme park, they just perfected it. But now that Disneyland has seen the new opening guidelines, they understand that it's time to let go of their ego. Because friends, Disneyland, It's fighting for its life right now and letting go of the ego, restricting things that in a normal time just wouldn't meet the Disney standard, gives them the ability to focus on what they need to be doing right now, the survival of the resort. So for us fans, the new boundaries of DCA will be Smoke Jumper's Grill to the west, probably the old Elephant Pedestals to the east, will be the Dead End on Hollywood Boulevard, and to the south, Carthay Circle. So why this is such great news for all of us is it just adds more to do and more to feel like we're in Disney. With 2 new sit-down restaurants, Smoke Jumpers is easily equipped with plenty of outdoor seating and to make you feel like you're in that Northern California wilderness. And finally, we're given a premier dining experience with the reopening of Carthay Circle, one of my favorite places to eat at the Disneyland Resort. Carthay will be able to take full advantage of its outdoor balcony seating on the second level and the ground level seating that they have on the patio to the front. I also anticipate that they'll probably do what most California cities have done and expand a little bit more into the thoroughfare known as the Performance Corridor. No information yet on how to obtain a reservation to dine at Carthay Circle, but expect me to be there. And with a couple of new snack shops, we now have our 3rd Starbucks open at the resort. No amusement parks, no hotels, 3 Starbucks. I'm not complaining. Fiddler Pfeiffer, aka Starbucks, will be back, as well as Clarabelle's. Another place to get ice cream, always a win. Plus, we'll see Willie's Churros, some popcorn carts, Mortimer's Market, and possible other carts sprinkled around. This means that we can get authentic Disneyland treats. And even though World of Disney and now the new Backlot Shop, formerly Studio 17, offer a plethora of Disney merchandise, it will be nice to get back into a Disney park, get that more intimate shopping experience, and get some of those signature items in a place that feels like their natural habitat. On the western side of Buena Vista Street, Kingswell Camera Shop and Julius Katz & Sons will open. That means Christmas ornaments able to be bought in the Disneyland Park in California for holiday 2020, which I'm already labeling my goal to make it the best worst Christmas ever. And on the west side, Elias & Co., Los Feliz, Five and Dime, and Big Top Toys, all to return. This is kind of one of those tricks like Main Street USA, where it's one big shop divided up into little sections. I mean, this will just be fun to get to go in there and shop and just get that experience. But as I said earlier in the video, all of this will add to a healthy new capacity for Downtown Disney, meaning at any particular time, more fans will be able to experience Downtown Disney at the same time. And don't get me wrong, it's still going to max out. Just more of us can be there at once, safely. There will be no admission price, obviously, to go into Buena Vista Street on DCA. I mean, this is all that's opening. No attractions will be open. And at this moment, nothing beyond these borders. But I do predict that they will end up using the gates out front to sort of do another crowd management. Because obviously, if you just let everyone into Downtown Disney and you say, hey, by the way, now Disney California Adventure has Buena Vista Street open, the amount of people that would flood over there would get into a very unsafe space. Disney has done a superior job with guest safety, and I believe that what will happen is once this area of Downtown Disney is at max capacity, a line will form out front of the gates of DCA, and much like just getting into Downtown Disney, once one family leaves, another family will be allowed in. And by family, they really want you during these times to stay within the group of people that you arrived at the park with. So a family could be you by yourself, it could be you and your friends, but it's really one party in, one party out. So once this part of Downtown Disney hits its own individual capacity, expect to have to wait to get into this. This hasn't been written anywhere, but it's just common sense that they can't let everybody flood into one corner of the parks. Just like all the restaurants, all the shops. Once they hit a capacity, you have to wait to get your text message to be allowed to go inside. I'm cool with it. They have done a fantastic job of making me feel safe, and out of all the places I've been in public since the pandemic has happened, I've never felt safer, I've never felt happier than visiting Downtown Disney. I do expect that at some point, though, as this all goes on longer, it's going to happen for a while. This was a quick announcement made just within 3 days of them finding these guidelines. I feel like as they kind of get more things figured out, we could see this footprint expand to go further down Hollywood Boulevard, to open up more shops, more places to get snacks, and more capacity. I could also see it expanding further down the performance corridor, which would allow them to bring back some of the food carts that are normally there for the holidays and for the Food and Wine Festival. It would be fun to see some of those food carts return. But you know, friends, none of this is obviously what Disneyland wanted to do. They wanted to reopen their park and keep their pride and their prestige. But this does show what Ken Potrock alluded to earlier in the week. This shows Disney's commitment to fight for their park and a willingness to bring back as many cast members as possible, and really shows them digging their heels in to make this moment in time work as best as they can. So, as a fellow business owner, I know ego can sometimes get in the way, but it's nice to see Disney focusing purely on survival at this moment in their 65th year of operation with the Disneyland Resort. But to me, as a fan, this is the good news that we have to all hold on to. The best part is, each of us that are out here will have the opportunity to stand on a Disneyland street inside of a Disney park and hear holiday songs. Something that seemed impossible by the end of day Tuesday is now a reality by the end of the week on Friday. We will be able to celebrate some form of the holidays inside of a small portion of a Disney park. And yeah, it's not what we had in 2019, but it's a lot more than what we had on Tuesday. And friends, that's why I never stop believing in the magic. Thank you so much for watching this quick Disneyland news update. Please, if you like the way that I handle the news, subscribe. I right now have a series going where I'm giving you all the news on the reopening of the Disneyland park. Next week, I'm kicking off a new series called Is My Annual Pass Safe?, where I will be documenting all the twists and turns that will be happening with annual passes for us here at the Disneyland Resort, as I study what's happening to passes all around the world and other parks in North America. I'd love for you to comment below, what are you most excited about DCA reopening, and what else do you wish would reopen? And I already know you're going to type in Main Street Food Fair. Already bought a ticket. I mean, there's not a ticket, but I would buy it. Make sure you give this video a like. All of this really does help me grow the channel and keep putting out these videos that I enjoy doing so much for you. So until the next time that I get to see you on Buena Vista Street, I'll see you right here on the channel with another Disneyland news update. Thank you for watching. Yes, DCA, I'm back. Merry Christmas.